Hello America, my name is William Garlington and welcome to ConservativesViewpoint.com. If you've been following this program for the last month and a half, you know that our mission statement for the next 2 years is to help educate, help inform as many Americans as we can when it comes to conservative values. And we welcome all Americans, especially those liberals and moderates, because we want to, in the next 2 years, defeat and eliminate liberalism within America, and we feel that we can do it. So today we're coming at you Monday, December the 20th, 2010. We will be broadcasting for the next 2 years and parking all of our videos and broadcasts onto our website. Again, ConservativesViewpoint.com. There you can go into the archives and take a look at past broadcasts. But we're talking about conservative values because we feel liberalism over the last 75 years plus has destroyed America. Today and throughout this week and next week, we're going to feature the top 10 domestic issues that this particular website believes is important. So we're going to get at it right now because there's not a lot of time that we have on these broadcasts. But first, I want to just point out that when we talk about liberalism, we have to talk about the Democratic Party. Just kind of say to yourself, when you bump into a Democrat, they're going to be either a knowing liberal or they're uninformed and they need help. And that's where we're going to try to help these folks and bringing them to the conservative way of thinking. And when you think of the Liberal Party and the Democratic Party, you have to think about this man who leads the charge, Barack Obama, the president. And we need to really rally around and get this man not elected in 2012, okay? So when you think about all that, you've got to think about a handout, or what some haves, like the Clintons, the Obamas, the Reids, the Pelosi's, they believe entitlements should be given to those Americans who just really don't do a lot. They're lazy, they're illegal immigrants, and they're just looking for a handout because those folks want to keep their, you said it, you guessed it, their power. They want to keep their power base so that they can continue running the country because they've already got the dough, they've already got the dude or the chick, and all they want now is to continue with that power. And they want to keep you and I, the have-nots, down. And when that happens, we have to feel, at least I do, like a slave in chains and bondage. And every day we're going to start off with this little concept to those Americans, because we here at The Point, we want to just piss on a liberal, okay? We the haves anyway. So let's eliminate liberalism. But today we're going to focus on the topic that everybody has been talking about for the last 2.5 years, and that is taxation, taxation, taxation. Neal Boortz, who has been very instrumental behind the retiring Congressman John Linder of Georgia, has written several books on the fair tax. And we're going to delve into just a snippet because I don't believe we're going to have a lot of time to really delve into the fair tax. Here's some pros of the fair tax that I picked up from the website. Again, our intent is to educate. Number one pro of the fair tax: it's much easier to understand than the current tax system. I can attest to that. I'm sure you out there can attest that the tax laws that we have are just so falutin and piled high. Number two pro: the fair tax, again, Neal Boortz, the fair tax would make everything transparent. What that means is, with the fair tax, it is easy to see that everyone pays the same rate on the things they buy. Because basically, the fair tax is kind of a consumption tax. That if you bought a big boat, if you will, because you had the dollars, then you would be taxed on that particular boat, that purchase. And like I, that cannot afford a boat and purchase a boat, I would not be taxed because we would be eliminating, you know, some of the tax laws out there. Again, another pro of the fair tax: with a national sales tax, there will no longer be a tax on investments. What does this mean? you and I, that we can now safely take our dollars and invest it. There would be no death tax. There would be no inheritance tax. There would be no taxes whatsoever. We would eliminate the IRS. Forget about the flat tax. Let's do a fair tax. That is based on, again, consumption. Another pro to the fair tax would hopefully increase productivity in our country, meaning most people now work for a certain time and then they stop working because if they continue working, they're just working to be taxed higher and higher and higher. This would eliminate that. And the last pro, the fair tax, it would significantly broaden the tax base, meaning illegal activity. Right now, illegal drug activity or illegal laundering, these folks do not pay a tax. Okay? But if they took that illegal dollars and they bought a home or a boat or a car, those folks would be taxed and it would be trickled down into the federal government, the state government, and the local government. So those are 5 real good pros of the fair tax. And we can thank this man and John Linder for coming up with that, idea. And we need to, really press on, because in my lifetime, I want the Internal Revenue Service eliminated, okay? It's been around too long, since 1913. Okay, the fair tax also enables workers to keep their entire paychecks, enables retirees to keep their entire pensions, refunds and advance the tax on purchases of basic necessities, allows American products to compete fairly. Again, it brings transparency that we talked about, abolishes the IRS, ensures Social Security and Medicare funding. So go get one of their books. I don't get any portion, but again, he's a true conservative in this case, and we applaud Neal Boortz and retiring Congressman John Linder. Okay, when we talk about at this site, we talk about no political party, no political candidate. But right now, a lot of people think that conservatives are the Republican Party. But go back into last week's archive and understand that if you're in the Republican Party, it doesn't necessarily mean you're conservative. What we want here at the point is to hopefully bring to the forefront a conservative party. Two-party system, we want to be the conservative party. So those folks that are truly conservative will come into our party, and if they're not, maybe they can be ousted at a quicker rate. Okay? But conservative is the real thing, because conservative, if you vote conservative, you're prompting prosperity. You're eliminating those chains of slavery and bondage that's around your ankles and necks right now. So folks, if you know a liberal, if you know a Democrat, ask them the questions. If they don't understand, then they're misinformed. Teach them. If they do understand, by going to the web store, that's right, Battle 2010, conservatives versus the liberals. We have 54 conservatives, 54 liberals, Americans, entertainers, politicians, judges, businessmen and businesswomen on these playing cards. I have put together from the ace spades down to the two clubs, including the jokers. And we're having this on our site, $7.95 for the singleton, $12.95 for the set. We're going to be coming out with Battle 2012 in March. So right now, if you arm yourself, you're arming yourself with information. And a lot of people say, well, I'm a conservative, so I'll just buy the one deck. No, you want to buy the liberal deck because you want to know that George Soros is a liberal. Oprah Winfrey, Keith Olbermann, Chris Matthews, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi. And on this side, you want to know Neal Boortz, Marco Rubio, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck are conservatives. So yes, you want to get the deck, and a portion of all items purchased on the website, there's 3 charities on there. You get to choose what charity of the dollars that you want to be sent to that charity, because over the next year, we want to raise $250,000 for the 3 charities total. All right? So again, conservativesviewpoint.com. This is number 1 out of 10 domestic issues we're going to be talking about within the next 2 weeks. In America, go out there and be happy. Get those liberals educated and go out and change America back to conservatism. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.